And good afternoon. This is Tironan, and this is the I-210. Um, there's no history about this aircraft. It was a prototype that there's almost no real reference to. The I-210 is given a single reference, and that's in relationship to a follow-on aircraft called the I-211, which you will see in the upgrades list here. Let's talk a little bit about the aircraft, because we can only talk about specifications. This aircraft did not make it into production, not as the I-210 or 211. What do we know about it? Well, survivability is fair. Gun armament is, yeah. When you're talking about Tier 6, let's look at some of the fighters that it will compete against. P-51A is going to have better survivability and better gun armament. When you talk about the BF-109, about the same survivability, still better gun armament. When you talk about the Spitfire 5, you're talking the I-210 has a little better survivability, but its gun armament is just not even in the same class. Let's go back and compare them. Airspeed 648 miles an hour. Well, that's fully upgraded. That's both engine upgrades and the airframe upgrade, both of which give you some speed here. You pick up 2 knots from the airframe change, and you pick up 26 knots, 26 kilometers per hour, a bit more likely. So how does that stack up? Well, let's take a look, since we do have quite a selection of Tier 6 fighters to look at. Okay, so against the P-51AB, giving up about 40 kilometers. Against the Frank, you can see there, almost, well, yeah, he's giving up about 20. And against the Spitfire 5, you have a considerable speed margin on the Spitfire 5. Maneuverability is in line. It's actually more maneuverable than the Mustang. Contrary to popular belief, the Mustang was not some incredibly agile fighter. It was an energy fighter. And this one is, the 210 is actually better at maneuvering. It's coming in at 840, where the Mustang's coming in right at 800. Yeah, 799, might as well call it 800. I don't think anybody will object too much. And the 109F Frederick is right in there at 855. A little more agile than the 120, but not by a whole heck of a lot. And in case you start feeling really cocky, this is where the Spitfire begins to shine, is in the maneuverability. Altitude performance. The Spitfire is coming in at might as well say 4,600. Where the I-10 is coming in at 6238 or 34, 6234. And the Frank is coming in at 6562. And the Mustang is 6234, so not enough altitude performance is going to hang in there with just about everything. Okay, so let's move on from here. Let's take this thing to battle and see if we embarrass ourselves or not. I've had a few contests where I just got my tail feathers spanked pretty hard last night, as a matter of fact. And Then I came back this morning and spanked some tail feathers myself, so who knows how these things turn out. As for mercurial games, it's hard to beat World of Warplanes. You just never know what you're going to wander into. I know some of the content providers you're seeing the ever victorious March of the ever victorious army. I don't agree with that. I think you're setting up unrealistic expectations for your players, and I am not Superman on this thing. Try to present this from an everyman's perspective and see how it goes. You know, sometimes I have some luck, sometimes it's just short of embarrassing. The really hideous ones never make it to the screen, of course. I'm not from my embarrassment so much as from the fact there's not a whole heck of a lot to watch, to learn, to watch me get my planes blown out of the sky, 1, 2, 3. Okay. We'll go help out here. Since the majority of the aircraft are going, or my teammates are heading this way, let's see what we can do here. You'll notice, despite the fact it only has two 20mm cannons, it's pretty darn good. And we've killed 2 aircraft pretty quickly. When you do these sorts of missions, you have got to kill these defending robo fighters before you can take the objective, no matter how many ground targets you take out, and so forth and so on. Okay, so we got that taken care of. We need to get over here and take this fighter base. Hopefully the guys will go with it instead of doing exactly what I was afraid they were going to do, which is go back here and contest for this middle ground. Okay. Well, if you're going to be a team player, I guess you got to be a team player. I don't agree with it. I think it's a dumb move, but what are you going to do? This is a situation you can watch by the radar screen how this guy is getting absolutely overwhelmed by numbers, and I don't think he's got a whole lot of chance of making it. Alright, you'll notice that the boost lasts a while and gets you up there, and we're just shy of 5,000 feet and climbing. And at this point, we just got to kill enemy aircraft. You got to give the 20mm an occasional break. And we got somebody on our tail. We're going to quickly flip around. And we're going to get up here, see if we can visit McHale here. And we've taken care of McHale. As if for you, doesn't look like he's up to any good. And I'm out of boost because I used it too much. I've got a bad habit of leaning on my trigger even when I don't need it. Or leaning on my boost even when I don't need it. That's a habit I really need to get out of. Because when you need your boost, you need your boost. I don't care what you think. And this Spitfire is now wanting to outmaneuver me. And this is a fight you don't want to be in. So we're going to speed up, see if I can lose the fellow, and we're going to go into a sharp climb and up and over. And no. This is a tier 7, and it's a pretty darn good fighter. And we still don't have an air base. That A-26 is a tough fighter. Great bomber, I should say. That thing had it happen any number of times. As you can tell, you do not want to get in the front of one, and it's got a belly turret and a roof turret, dorsal turret, I should say, and it can lay out some hurt. Or normally, you can say you can just ignore the defensive armament of most of the aircraft. This is one that's not so much. They can flat hurt you. It's just got proof. Hopefully we can get back into this game here. And I would have liked to have gone back to our air base and repaired, but apparently we don't capture air bases. I'm gonna head over there. That just irritates the heck out of me. That 410, by the way, is one tough aircraft. Now he wants to boost, but I got a positional advantage here, a height advantage, so he really can't boost away from me. At this point, I just want to light him up. And that ends that. There's that Spitfire again. That's a Spitfire 5, not the same animal at all. If he wants to ignore me and think that I can't hurt him, he's very much mistaken. There we go. Okay, so that's the I-210. Seem to have a lot of these imaginary aircraft in there, prototype aircraft that really never made it into the war, and I've always found that kind of intriguing. Of course, if you want to look them up, they do have interesting histories, even though they didn't make it into production, or sometimes they came into production later as something else. What do I think of the 210? This is a very good high altitude fighter. Decent maneuverability, decent protection. We killed 6 targets, assisted 1. Pretty good shape there. Alright, well, everything except we got defeated. Made good money, made good points here, and team score. Yeah. So that's what it says. Good altitude performance, good maneuverability, good airspeed. Armament, they really needed a third 20mm cannon here. And the survivability is it's right up with the other fighters. You really can't complain about that. Not being a tough aircraft, it is one. Compared to some of the, you start looking at Yak-1, yeah, this is a good tough aircraft on the Soviet line. And you know, you look at the Nakajima, yeah, you just be glad you're not in one, right? So this is a good tough aircraft. Should be a good performer for you. You could wish that it had that third 20mm or a pair of 12.7 50 caliber machine guns on it or something to give you a little bit more oomph to this, because it's an aircraft that desperately needs it. But other than that, it's I liked it. This could be a good long-term performer for us. Listen, I really appreciate you spending some time with me today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If there's you have any questions, comments, or something I can respond to, or maybe you got a particular question on how to use a particular fighter, let me know. I just posted a P-38F how-to for one of my subscribers who asked to he just didn't get heavy fighters, and so maybe that will help him. And I'm happy to help anybody with anything that I can, limits of course. Other than that, if you like it, go ahead and like the video, subscribe. I need all the subscribers I can get. I'm a new content provider, and Google and Warplanes and everybody that looks at us by how many hits we get and how many likes we get and how many subscribers we have. So I can use lots of help here, folks. Do appreciate you, and you have a great day now. Bye-bye.